Hello everybody, I'm George from Ireland. Here I am at Shah Jahan Mosque in Woking, United Kingdom. So this is the first purpose-built mosque in the United Kingdom. It's not the very first mosque. There was a mosque in Cardiff which didn't look like one, which was in a building that was built for something else and later used as a mosque. This one was constructed in 1889. It was a brainchild of Gottlieb Wilhelm Leitner. Now, Leitner is worthy of a video in himself. Born in Pest, Hungary, into a Jewish family, he was an academic supernova, had a working knowledge of 50 languages, absolute master of about 19. Anyway, he was an interpreter for the British Army in the Crimean War at the age of 15, promoted to colonel at 15, and then he was in India during the British Raj, mostly in Punjab, okay, and he helped found what's now the University of Punjab. So he converted to Christianity and then Islam. And then he was here in the UK. There was the Oriental College, Oriental Institute rather, here near in Woking. And for the students at that college, mostly Muslim young men, a place of worship for them. And so he built this here. Look at that. See, the finial is the crescent moon, the symbol of Islam. It's got two small minarets as well. So it was this like late Mughal style with the onion dome in the center. And then, okay, laid out in the garden, look a bit like lotuses there on the gate posts. I wonder if that's why. That's it. But he was an Ahmadi, I believe. But he died in 1899, and it fell into disuse. Then they got it going again about 1912. Now, Queen Victoria famously had an Indian servant, Abdul Karim, if I remember correctly, whom she was very fond of, and he came to worship here. But Windsor's not very close. It's like at least 12 miles. Had to go by horse-drawn carriage in those days. Anyway, so then the building was somewhat dilapidated and they restored it around the First World War. So it went from being used for Ahmadi worship, that's a heterodox sect of Islam, and a lot of Muslims don't consider the Ahmadis to be Muslims at all, to being used for Sunni worship, as in that's mainstream Islam. About 80% of the Muslims in the world are Ahmadis. So you can see the size of the car park, very, very busy around here on Fridays. That being the main day of Muslim worship, okay? So there is the worship space. I believe there's a separate women's section, and that's it. So the Muslim population in Woking is quite significant. I mean, for Surrey, which doesn't have a very large Muslim population. So what else would I say? Yeah, there we go. And it had lots of distinguished visitors. The monarchs of various Muslim countries. The king of Afghanistan, over 100 years ago. Obviously, the monarchy was abolished there about 1974, and one of the kings of Saudi Arabia, other Muslim luminaries, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founding father of Pakistan, he was here, and so on. Okay, so that's it. I don't think I'll go in some other time. Oh, look, this is private ambulance, but that really means just simply removing bodies from morgues, bring it to the funeral home, and there's the hearse. Because you never see those, you think, is there a patient really in there? No, there's not. What else can I say? So obviously there's a place for people's ablutions. They have to obviously wash themselves before they worship, cleanliness being next to godliness. So you see it from the railway line. And it's a curious anomaly in this very bland town to see a mosque there with that sort of architecture, which is definitely not vernacular, not in keeping with the rest of it. What do you think? Quite handsome, that building, like the colour coding too. And there is a graveyard nearby, a Muslim graveyard. And then in the First World War, a lot of Indian soldiers were fighting here. Remember, in those days, Pakistan and Bangladesh didn't exist. I mean, even the word Pakistan wasn't invented. Some people say it was invented here. Some people say, no, Chaudhry Rahmat Ali came up with it at Cambridge. And I've been to his graveyard in Cambridge City Cemetery. But anyway, so some of the British Indian soldiers who were killed in the First World War were buried here. Usually if they're killed in France or Belgium, they're buried close to where they fell. Some of them were evacuated to the United Kingdom for medical treatment and succumbed to their wounds and were buried close by. But unfortunately, some absolute scumbags were vandalising their graves, disinterring them. So in 1968, they were exhumed and moved to Brookwood Cemetery a few miles further west. So that is something unusual and highly notable about Woking. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe on Patreon. Donate on PayPal, georgecallahan79@gmail.com. Goodbye.